What is up, guys? It is Will Sports, and in this video, I'm going to be covering the Cincinnati Bengals. So they are off to a 1-3 start at the beginning of this season. This is a team that so far has just not looked anything like themselves. A team that over the last 2 years has been one of the best NFL teams, and now this year you have a team that Joe Burrow just signed a contract this offseason, highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Yet he has been really, really bad. And a big part of that is because he's dealing with a calf injury at the moment. And, you know, this is an injury that is not going to get better with you playing on it. But the Bengals started 0-2. I think Joe Burrow is part of the reason he wants to play is because, you know, he doesn't want to sit out and then they lose the game. But I think they should have just sat him to begin the season. And, you know, if you start 0-2 without him, then you bring him back. But they decided to play him from the jump. And now they have themselves in a hole. Do they want to sit him? I think they have to sit him at least 1 week because Burrow has just been so bad so far this year. He has no mobility whatsoever. And the Bengals offensive line is really bad. It's been bad, you know, the past few years. But Joe Burrow was able to escape that, and he's a guy that can move around, you know, and extend plays and make stuff happen outside of the pocket. But when you are dealing with a calf injury like this, it's going to be hard. And he doesn't trust his calf, clearly. When you watch the games, he isn't moving, you know. So I think they need to sit him for at least one game. I mean, next week they play the Arizona Cardinals, and the Cardinals aren't great, obviously, but they've been competitive in all their games this year. So it's not an easy game per se, but it's a game that I think even without Joe Burrow, the Bengals might be able to win. And then, you know, if you lose, so be it. I mean, I think Joe Burrow's long-term health and him possibly being healthy the rest of the season is more important than one game. I just think they've botched this whole situation with him because he just doesn't look like himself. And you have a lot of people who are saying, you know, he's not the same quarterback. I don't think that. I mean, I think the injury is clearly what's holding him back and what's hampering him. He's not, I don't think he's washed or anything. I don't think he's regressed. He's just not healthy. And I think for the Bengals to be successful, they need him healthy. Because this offense right now is probably the worst in the NFL. Well, statistically is the worst in the NFL. They're dead last in points per game. They're averaging 12.3 points per game through 4 weeks. And they're dead last in yards per game with 236 yards a game. They've only had 4 touchdowns on the season. And like I said, Joe Burrow has just been pathetic by his standards. Only 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the season for him. He has not been good in any area for them, and I think it's to a point where his presence is only hurting the team, because if you're not able to be the guy that you need to be as a quarterback, if you aren't able to explode off your calf into your throws, and you're coming up short on some of your throws, or you're inaccurate on some of your throws because your calf is bothering you, or you're not able to escape the pocket when there's pressure coming at you, then you're hurting your team. And this is a Bengals team, like I said, they've been one of the best offenses over the past few years. So for them to be this bad, it's just a complete downfall for them right now. And they're already 0-3 against the AFC and 0-2 in division. So they can't afford to keep losing. And this isn't like last year where they started 0-2. Burrow was healthy. And they just got off to kind of a slow start in the season. I have more, you know, I was worried, but I can't say I'm as bought in as I was last year because, like I said, Burrow was not hurt last year. Burrow is hurt now. And I forgot, T. Higgins is going to be out for a few weeks because he had a rib injury and he was out the rest of the game today. And it was reported he was going to be out a few weeks now. So you're down T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase hasn't been getting the ball as much as he typically does. They don't have much of a run game right now because of the offensive line struggles and just the fact that Joe Burrow has not been healthy. I think teams are trying to kind of bring pressure and make the Bengals, a passing team, knowing that Burrow isn't 100% healthy. So I think the Bengals are now in such a predicament. I'm off on this team. I'm not really buying them just because of the Burrow injury. They don't seem to have that same juice that they've had over the past few years, and it's just a lot of dysfunction because of the Burrow injury, and also just like I said, the offensive line play. You have T. Higgins going out now. You had Jamar Chase come out earlier and say something about "I'm always open, I'm always effing open" to the media. That's not something that you really want to hear, but you can tell it's just some frustration boiling over on this team. And this is a team that so far this season has not been able to get off the field on third down, and they've just really struggled. And when you can't pass the ball against the Titans, who are one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, then who are you going to be able to pass the ball on? Today, I think they allowed 400 yards to the Titans, and it's not a great offense. This is a Titans offense that has been struggling. Derrick Henry has not looked the same this year, but he looked great today. And the Titans, just were able to get whatever they wanted on this Bengals defense today. And they shut down anything Cincinnati wanted to do. They got plenty of pressure on Joe Burrow, and that is a stout defensive line there in Tennessee, so that isn't too surprising, but he was getting hit more than you would want for a hampered quarterback. So as far as Cincinnati, I'm not buying them. I think they're going to miss the playoffs this year. And they do. I mean, there's plenty of time. Would I be shocked if they turned it around? No. But it's just a lot going on. And I don't know if Burrow's going to sit out any games. And as long as Burrow continues to play with that calf, I just don't see him being able to perform any better. You're not going to have a downfield passing game. And you're going to be kind of a limited offense, and you're not going to have the explosiveness you have had. And Joe Burrow, like I said, one of the biggest parts of his game is getting out the pocket, making throws on the run. He's not able to do that right now. And so I'm not buying the Bengals. I just think there's too many teams in the AFC. And like I said, in their division, you have the Ravens and the Browns, who have both looked better, who have both beaten them already. And the Steelers would probably beat... Steelers' offense is really bad too, so I don't know about that. But you have those two teams in your division. You got the Bills and the Dolphins. You got the Chiefs, the Chargers. The AFC South has looked better than we thought. The Titans could be a playoff team, and they just beat the Bengals, so they'd have a tiebreaker over the Bengals. The Jags, maybe the Texans. I mean, I don't know. The Texans have looked solid. So it is going to be tough to make the playoffs, with the start they've had. So I think next week is definitely a must win. I would sit Joe Burrow just one game, to get him some rest, and hopefully you can win, because if you can win your schedule after the Cardinals game, you got the Seahawks at home, winnable game. The Seahawks are a good offense, but that's a pass defense that is definitely exploitable. And if Joe Burrow can have a week off, maybe that makes a difference, and he goes into that Seahawks game fresh, and he kind of reinvigorates himself. And then you have a bye week, and that could be huge. That could be some extra rest for Joe Burrow. And then after that, the schedule is you got two really difficult games. The Niners at the Niners, and then you got the Bills at home, and then the Texans, who have been frisky. So the Bengals, I don't like what I'm seeing from them right now. I think they need to get Burrow healthy, number one, though. And you're going to have to figure out somebody to step up in place of T. Higgins. Hopefully he's not out for too long, but he's probably going to be out a few weeks from what I'm hearing. And I just think this is a Bengals team that is definitely pressing because T. Higgins could be going next season, because this is a contract year for him. And, most likely he's not going to be back, because I don't know if they're going to pay him. And so they might feel like this is their last chance at a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow doesn't think so, but as a franchise internally, they might think that. And so I feel like this is part of why they're continuing to play Burrow. But sit him out a week, let him rest, and maybe after that, I think this Bengals team could maybe turn around. But I'm not putting too much stock in that right now. I just see too many flaws with this team. An offense that just looks completely out of sorts. The worst offense in the NFL through 4 weeks, and they have a lot of work to do. I'm not buying the Bengals, but let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what else y'all would like me to talk about. And it's been Will Sports. Peace.